Good evening, everyone. It's the 2nd of January, 2025. I saw already in 2025, Mr. B. How have your 2 days of January been?
Very restful, bath time. Very restful. A lot more restful than I anticipated. But look, it is what it is. We keep moving, you know.
Well, not if we're resting. We don't. That's the whole point.
No, I'm not. I'm not a restful person, bath time. I like to be up and out, man. It's killing me at the moment, man. I tell you, it's killing me.
What are you doing with your time?
Nothing. There's just not much I can do. To be fair, the sleep's a shit. And then when I'm up, as soon as the arm moves, and you think the pain's gone, and then you kind of half forget, and then you do something else, and then you remind yourself of all of the shit that you shouldn't have been doing. But it is what it is, man. It's just something that I'm gonna have to get on with, mate. To be fair.
We're all here for you, including Dora.
Woo-hoo!
Hello, Dora. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Hopefully everyone in the chat and you guys have a wonderful 2025 year. I had a good New Year's, I would say, celebrations. And yeah, 2025. Who would have thought? Some of that we are going to get to this point of, I would say, life. 2025. It sounds like a big deal. But yeah, I'm well, and I'm ready to talk about this painful club. Very painful club.
I want to know what you did for New Year's Eve. I've got images of you like stealing a bus and listening to some hardcore drum and bass in a village in Croatia.
No, I was chilling, but it was so foggy that, and with everyone, like it was, this may be insensitive, but it's in where I was, it sounded like I was in the middle of a war zone with amounts of, how do you say it, firecrackers, and there were literal explosions, for fireworks and everything else, and the smoke of those firecrackers and those fire explosions, or whatever it is called, pyrotechnics, sorry. And with the fog, and it looked like a freaking Silent Hill, and it was so spooky, and yeah, it was. But overall, I felt like it was a good New Year's celebrations. I relaxed a bit, and it was a good time.
What a reference, Mr. B. I'm sure you're a big fan of Silent Hill, and you knew exactly what that was about.
Yeah, Silent Hill. Yeah.
It's a very foggy game. Very foggy game.
Oh, it's a game.
Yeah, it's a horror game.
Bloody hell! I thought it was a film.
There is a movie which is very bad. But it originally
got Sean Bean in it, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Sean Bean. Oh, yeah. I know Sean Bean. He was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that foggy film called The Mist?
Yeah.
That's got the biggest gut punch ending I've ever seen. It's incredible as a horror film. It's got it's up there with like something like The Sixth Sense for like a twist at the end. It's incredible. Or The Usual Suspects, Mr. B. You must have seen that one.
Yeah, I love Usual Suspects. That's good. I like that. The series was good as well.
Do you reckon that Luke Shaw is going to do something similar? Like at the end of The Usual Suspects, he's a cripple and he walks out, and then he stops walking like a cripple and he's all fit and things. And Luke Shaw's just gonna like that.
The day he signs his contract for Real Madrid, that's what it will be. You'll get. It was all a joke. I'm perfectly fit. I just wanted to take 300 grand every 2 weeks from you.
Oh, actually, there's been some stuff about Luke Shaw that I'll get to a little bit later. Have you seen the video, Dora, of Luke Shaw? That's okay. All right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
it's utterly ridiculous. I can't believe he's done it. Right, first up, we got Matty Bassett. Big up, Matty. We've got Bilal. The last time he pretended to be an alien, he was in school.
Oh, this was we said Robert. Was it Robert the alien came on yesterday? Yeah. We said it was Bilal. Bilal actually put it on the comments on the stream.
He's livid. How dare we? We got Simon Warner, who's asking us if we've all had a good day. I hope you've had a good day, Simon. And we've got Danny B in the house. Gyokere in January, stop playing FIFA 25. We'll get on to your friend Gyokere a bit later, Matty. We've got John Lowry, who's wishing us all a happy new year.
Thank you.
Good evening, all. Happy new year, Dora. Stretna Nova Godina.
Sretna Nova Godina. Thank you.
That's
Thank
what I
you,
said.
Bart. No, you didn't.
Perfect.
Try harder
We can
next
all
time.
agree.
Try harder next time.
I'm not even gonna try.
No, I haven't done this today.
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing that to myself.
Yeah, if you're from a foreign country, put what Happy New Year is in the chat from your country, and I'll pronounce it perfectly, like I just did with the Seba Crap one. Right, Yali's here. He's found his way back. He's brought some Pepsi Max with him, like an unhealthy Saint Bernard. I would share, but I'm not sure if a glass of Pepsi Max would taste good when it arrived. We got We Deserve Better. Well, you know what he's asking about, but
I'm adopting an American term for, male chicken, a rooster. And the problem is solved. I'm not talking
Nice.
about any type of cocks on this channel.
And we've got Mark Gemini, saying Happy New Year. Sorna Namrsal. I don't know what that is, but all the best. Let me know in chat if you've seen the Luke Shaw video. I don't know if it's worth discussing. I just can't believe he's done it.
Yeah, well, don't just Luke Shaw video. I want to know what the video is about, please.
It looks like it's at a wedding, and a bunch of I don't know if they're famous people or if I should know them, but they're singing along to lines from some drill song. Right, so it'll cut to a girl singing a couple of lines, and it'll go somewhere else. And out of the blue, Luke Shaw turns up in the corner, and his line is, "Your mum's on benefits." And I just can't believe that for a man that we haven't seen for 6 months, for feels like a year really for Manchester United, that he's out there saying stuff like that. Like he's just a bimbo.
I don't know what to say, Well, honestly, I don't know what to say.
He's a clown, Mr. B.
God.
He's an absolute clown. I mean, I know there's no ill intent, and I know he's probably trying to have fun, and footballers should, be able to have fun. But we're 14th in the league, and he hasn't played, because he fucked off to bottle another final. And he's out there doing that, and it's classless, and it's stupidity of a weapons grade proportion. And I really, really wish that there was someone in the club who was into waterboarding and bog washing them.
You're still into your bog washing, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they do. They need some sort of shameful punishment, in my opinion, these players. All right, Dora. First story.
Yeah.
This is coming from a guy called Pete Hall from iPaper, which is I'd say it's a tier C. And he's saying that Amorim wants Gyokere wants Amorim, and that it can be done for 60 million in the summer, but we would have to play his release clause if we were to do it now, which is 80 million, and that United have lots and lots of deals lined up if we can get the cash.
Yeah. And we've got a lot of ifs at the moment with our January transfer window. I don't see how he comes in January half-time. He's going to give up. He's going to do exactly what Amorim did, give up all of top of the league, all of that winning to come here to be sucked into this shit. He'd be better off waiting. He'd be better off waiting until the summer. I'm not going to say we couldn't get him in the summer for 60 mil, but him, I wouldn't move. I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't touch us with a barge pole.
No, I mean, but also, do you think it's prudent to pay an extra 20 million for 6 months?
I think if it was a Champions League where we had the opportunity to go top 4 or push for the league, then yeah. But where we are, I mean, what are the points? What is it? $1.5 million every position that you finish?
8. Yeah,
you can see what I mean. It's just not. To get him, we'd have to be buying him to win the league, and no, I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's happening. Why would he want to be coming? I understand as footballers, you've got your own what's the word I'm looking for? You've got your own ability. You feel that you can obviously do a job wherever you go. But geez, man, it's gonna take more than Gyokere to sort it out.
And I think it showcases that once again, third year in a row, we are looking at a striker, which is insane to me because 2 seasons ago we bought Højlund, then we bought Zirkse, and now we are into buying Gyökeres. And I'm baffled because I know that we are lacking in scoring goals. I know that there is a huge problem with the attack, but also we have so many holes in the midfield and in the defense. I believe that Gyokere is a very good player. I think he would do good, but we need to fix up. And you mentioned it many times. We lack physicality as well. There is a huge problem with no one can head a ball. Every single player in the team is getting wrestled out by other players who are, on paper, quote unquote, maybe technically not, better than our players, but they are stronger and they are consistently bullying us in physicality. So I think it's just, once again, we are running in circles. And when it comes to this deal, being finished or resolved in January, I just don't believe it, honestly. I just think that this club, even I didn't think it was possible before, even though we had some deals done, in previous season in the January. But this kind of marquee signing in this situation where we cannot, throw money, or not even throw money, we cannot even make that money or make it happen. It's just so, I don't think, honestly, I don't believe that it's going to happen. But yeah, third striker, third season in a row is just depressing, honestly.
Yeah, it's like the recruitment has just been outrageous, to be honest. Since I love him, but even Ronaldo was
crazy
in some ways. Well, the thing is that
let him join City. We couldn't let him join City.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that that means that Ronaldo is going to be someone that is still relevant in 50 years' time, I think. And you're missing out on all those shirt sales and all the merchandise and all that kind of stuff. I don't think we could have let him go to City and win a treble or something and missed out on it. But still, we should have got Declan Rice instead, or whoever the player was at the time. Just before we get to the comments, I'm kind of in agreement with both of you that I think that this is kind of wishful thinking. I believe that Amran would want Gyökeres, and I do think Gyökeres would fancy a return to the Premier League to show everyone, how good he is now and all these things. He lived in England for 3 or 4 years. He played for 2 clubs here. He knows the league, he knows the country. It's not like he's walking into something that he doesn't know. And I think that Manchester United, for players out in Portugal, is probably still a massive club with Ronaldo and Bruno and now Amran there. I imagine it's a good destination for him, but we don't have any money, and I don't think it's the best use of our money. If we had some.
So you wouldn't prioritize? You're not prioritizing a striker, obviously. Then BATHTIME.
Well, you're leading me on to our next story, which is that the top of the wish list is a wing back and a striker. I suppose what I'm prioritizing, Mr. B, is money. If we've got 80 million to spend, I think that it's irresponsible to spend it all on one player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean? And strikers cost the most because they score goals.
Yeah.
So I also don't think that but I do think this. Scoring goals isn't the problem at the moment in terms of having a player that's able to convert chances, because we're not making chances. But a better player than Rasmus and a better player than Xerxes in the build-up might help us a lot. So I don't know. But
sorry, this is out of the blue question, because once again, this stat came out today, of course, by Statman Dave, who, in my opinion, is just throwing useless stats all the time. But once again, he posted today that Bruno Fernandes is on top of the league of making goal chances, goal opportunities for other players. And now you say that we cannot create. So what is the truth, BT? What is the truth? Do we create with Bruno Fernandes in the team, or someone else, or we just don't? Because I'm watching these games and I see a lot of ball going around and then in the end losing the ball, and I don't believe that.
I'm with you on this one. Do you know what postmodernism is? Like what it technically is?
I know. Yeah, but I think you are going to explain it. I understand it, but please explain it in proper English.
It basically means that nothing is true. That that's essentially what it is. So when you talk about postmodernism, facts, reality, they don't really matter anymore. And normally we use statistics to cut away bias. So if, for example, I were to tell you that women can't drive, you would use statistics to say that, at least in this country, they're involved in less car accidents than men, and therefore you can argue that they're safer drivers. And statistics should be used with a sort of argument. But what people like Statman Dave, shout out to him, do is they throw a stat out without any context and say, this means that Bruno is the most creative player in the league. And you have to look at how the stats are kind of calculated, how they arrive at this metric. And I look at some stats about like Lisandro Martinez and his aerial duels, and it will say he lost 6 aerial duels in a match or something. And I'd have seen him bottle 12 because he just doesn't even jump sometimes. But that doesn't count as an aerial duel. So I think what you should really do is just go off the eye test and don't look at things like big chances created.
Yeah.
Think about, was that on a plate? Has Bruno put stuff on a plate for people this season? And he did. At the start of the season, he gave 3 or 4 really good opportunities to Xerxes in particular. But since then, Bruno hasn't put anything on a plate for anyone. On the plate is what I want as a stat.
And I absolutely agree with it, because it should be a neutral thing. But these stats are used, of course, as it usually is among the fan base to argue with each other. So, for example, this stat was posted on subreddit, Manchester United subreddit or Red Devils subreddit, and people went insane. You have this hive mind of people who, oh, look, he's a world-class player, he's this, he's that, we failed him, blah, 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 blah. And then you have, very few people in the discourse who are saying, look, like, are you even watching the games? Maybe, but it's, he hasn't been the same for the last few months, blah, blah. And it's creating such a, in my opinion, toxic discourse among the fans. And I think that, if you're going to post these kinds of stuff, I think you should maybe provide some of the context about it. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out, because it's really, I know this is internet. I know we are in 2025. Everyone has, their opinion. They all want to have their own opinion, online and live and, public. But it's just exhausting, especially when we are in such a bad situation, and then these things only throw
it's enabling.
Yes, it's very enabling, and it's depressing, because you I feel like it's not that I was mad about it, but I was really uncomfortable,
Yeah.
reading all those things. So yeah, it should
I'll
stop.
tell you my reaction to this kind of stuff, Dora, is that I'm of the impression now that everyone, because of the way the world works, we're in a sort of post-expert, post-qualification world where anyone can have a voice, and like the loudest voices or sometimes the most stupid voices like are the ones that are heard. And so things like stats become really important because they sort of replace qualifications or experience or whatever. And for me, if you were to bring up Zinedine Zidane stats, they're not anywhere near as good as Bruno's. But Zinedine Zidane, I mean, I think we all agree he's probably it's inarguable to say he's like one of the top 10 players of the last 20 or 30 years in Europe.
Yeah.
You might be arguing about Luka Modric or, I don't know, Platini or someone, but no one's going to say that Zidane wasn't a world-class player in France's greatest ever team. But his stats don't really look that good compared to Bruno's, because when you look at stats, essentially all you're really looking at is what happens in both boxes. And football doesn't just happen in the boxes. It happens outside of the box most of the game. And that's where the really important things go on. So people who just make arguments based off stats, I don't like that. And people who make arguments without using statistics to challenge themselves, I think he's using stats wrong. And when I see Statman Dave, I think he just adds to the problem because he puts stats out without context. And, he'll just say something like, Bruno Fernandes has created 7 goal kick expected corner kicks this match, like wizard, or something like that. Like, what do you want me to do with this information? We're 14th in the league.
Yeah.
All right. See some comments. Is this true? Shaw's been the highest paid left back.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
It wouldn't surprise me, Bathtime. There's no. I mean, people have forwards who aren't getting paid what Luke Shaw's getting paid. So yeah, I think that could actually be true.
I think you're right, actually. So I was thinking Cancelo, maybe he would be on a lot of money. Like maybe Ben Chilwell scored the huge deal at Chelsea, but Luke, that does sound right, doesn't it? Luke Shaw,
Yeah.
like Robertson at Liverpool would be on 120k or something like that.
Yeah.
Cheaper city to live in, though. Mark Gemini is saying an unpopular opinion, Rashford is being pushed out. I don't think it's that unpopular, Mark. We discussed it last night about how the players that can generate the most profit are the ones that are getting pushed out. Xerxes, Garnacho, Rashford. Like, I don't think that there's anything unpopular about that. It might be the fact of it that's unpopular. Simon is saying he's surprised Shaw didn't injure himself pulling a cracker or the turkey wishbone. He's a paramedic's dream. He has his own ambulance, not a car.
Imagine Luke Shaw coming to Carrington with sirens and his ambulance. Oh my god.
He's also saying the Shaw video is a disgrace. It really is. Mr. POTUS, a deal is not happening Bath Time. I agree. I'm not sure where you're getting this from. It's just in the news, to be honest, Mr. POTUS.
Yeah, you got to remember, it's news. We don't print this stuff. It comes to us and we talk about it. There's a lot. So, Mr. POTUS, I tell you what, there's a lot of stuff out there that we could be talking about Man United that would make absolutely no sense. So we try and bring the bits that might be a little bit feasible. And the stuff that we think is trash, you lot don't even hear about. So, yeah, it's just content. Not ours.
You should hear some of Dora's theories about sleeping pills and so on.
It's not my theory. It was making rounds on Twitter. That's why I sent you. Come on. Look at me, throwing, rumors around from Croatia. Like, I know what he's doing in Manchester from Croatia.
Oh
my god!
I know what you mean. I started debunking what Dora sent me, and it's the social media, man. It's so funny.
Yeah.
What have we got here? We got John. There are a few players who are lacking class at the moment.
Names?
Yeah, John, get the names in. Let's name and shame them. Ronaldo signing was a massive mistake because it was emotional, sentimental, not a practical one. I still think you've got to think about safeguarding the financial legacy of the club. I think we had to. Rashford is helping us out by funding our rebuild. I hope so. This is a good point. It'll be the 6th consecutive season we're buying a centre-back. Varane, Martinez, Evans, De Ligt, Yoro. And then we'll probably need another one in the summer like Branthwaite.
Is he serious? What the hell are we doing? And none of them ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
Well, Yoro.
God. Yeah, but we've only got him. Listen, 2 years with us, mate. He'll probably be worth £12.50. You know what I mean? The way we suck the life out of players. So, I mean, Martinez, he's been exposed. Evans, God bless him. De Ligt, yeah, okay, 2.
I remember before that we had Lindelof, Bailly, Rojo, Maguire. Like the thing is that centre back is a position that we seem to churn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, is it crazy? Like, is it crazy to say post Fergie that like Lindelof and Maguire have probably been our best centre back pairing, and definitely in terms of the league?
I'm not even contemplating Lindelof being the part of any best nothing. So no, I'm not having that bath time. Even if it's true, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. Well, no, I'm going to disagree.
This is why you shouldn't trust stats.
Yeah,
because you've seen them.
I disagree with that. There's no chance. Absolutely no chance.
All right. Bilal is saying 2nd best Swedish striker of Eastern European ancestry. And Bart has brought up Henrik Larsson, who I think is of Cape Verdean ancestry. But he's obviously referring to Gyokere and I assume Zlatan. Right, Mr. B, you've got a new signing. How difficult is it for them to regain the trust of you and his teammates if he has a bad start?
You've got to give everybody time. I think you've just got to give people time. If in training you see that they're a bag of shit, then obviously you've got worries. But, you know, training is where I think you as teammates see what your fellow, like the player coming in plays like. And then for us, we see them when they're on the pitch. So as long as they've got the respect of what they're doing, I think everything else will come. It's just whether, if they're really poor in training, that's when you've got to start worrying as a fellow player, because already you can't trust the pot. Certain positions you can't pass the ball to them. Maybe they're thinking about that about Agate. You know what I mean? Thinking, oh shit, we pass it to him. You have to have somebody sideways of him. But it's learning what your players have and hoping that whatever they have, they can transfer onto our TV screens, as it were.
Yeah, I always love that story of how Keno on the first day of training with Rude would just batter the ball at him and say Gyokere would control those. And I really like that attitude. Like I sort of think that like if Agate, can't control the ball very well, and he can't, just keep battering at him until he learns. Like, Manchester United, this isn't like, a picnic with your mother. You're here to play. Right.
No.
What?
We deserve better's got the wages up of these players.
Yeah, don't worry. I've started it. I've seen it. Bruno Martinez a shite, according to Big G. That's his stats. To be honest, I actually respect that more than stats because it's based off your personal experience. 50% of people would agree with you, Bath Time. I'm not sure, but you're giving me a cheeky wink, and I like cheeky winks. So apparently Robbo's on 160 to 180k a week at Liverpool. That's a massive deal for a fullback.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, this is one of the stories that we have, Yali, that Amas is probably going to go on loan to Leicester. And I'm afraid... Yeah, I'm afraid I think that is probably put him in the shop window to sell him in the summer because he makes us a lot of money.
I get the move, but then we've got nothing to spend in the summer. He's probably on £200 a week.
No, but he's pure profit, isn't it? So if you sell him, like basically, I think what would probably happen is that Villa came in with 10 or 15 million like interest recently. I would imagine the plan is send him to Leicester for 6 months and try and get 25 for him. And that means we can spend like 80, 90 million in the summer.
Summer's too far away, bath time.
I know, I can't wait for Love Island. No Euros or anything.
Christ.
Steph is late. Are you early tonight or am I late? You're late. But we've got 11 likes, which is nice. So apparently Cancelo and Reece James were on 250k. Shaw's on 150k. I thought he was on more, to be honest.
Who's Luke Shaw?
Yeah, but Cancelo and James being on that money sounds about right to me.
Yeah, James is a captain as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's like a local lad, like academy player and things. I can see Chelsea giving him that amount of money.
That's a wedge for a fullback, though. Flipping heck.
Yeah. I always love these stats as well. Have you ever seen the Luke Shaw Call of Duty theory?
No.
I did. Yeah, I did.
So Call of Duty is a computer game, Mr. B.
Yeah, I know that much. Get lost, bath time. I do know that much.
I don't know.
I know that much.
Mansplaining, gamesplaining, humanity, everything.
Sorry, I've just noticed you've got Paul Pogba up where your boots used to be, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, so Call of Duty comes out every year. Luke Shaw in the past was caught hiring a professional player to play on his account to boost the stats. And every year, I think every release of Call of Duty for the last 8 or 9 years, Luke Shaw has been injured the weekend it comes out. Yeah. I've seen it a lot on social media. I've never checked it.
I mean, it's the same theory of, Neymar being injured during his sister's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, no, but that is definitely true. But
but
I think it's in his contract.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
His last injury, bloody hell, he had an Achilles. That wasn't really his fault, was it? It wasn't really to do with Achilles.
Look, Luke Shaw, I think, is always injured the first week of November when
the game. Yeah. I believe it. You know what? I have Luke Shaw agenda, so I believe it.
Okay.
And you know what? And I know this is such a Gen Z word, but how cringy you need to be to hire a professional player to boost your stats on your account. Like, play by yourself. If you're bronze level, iron tier, bronze tier, be it. And not boost yourself. And then when you go to the high elo of that game, and then you are shit. And you're ruining everyone's game. So, for the love of God, if you are injured, sit down and grind like every normal person. But it's so, oh my God, people with a lot of money, what do? They just, I'm not even going to continue. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if I can make a joke about you grinding. I don't think I can.
No. You know what? It went through my head, bath time, and I could, 100%. 100%. Sorry, Dora.
I got told off in a Pizza Express when I was about 18 when the waitress asked if I wanted any Parmesan, and I said, I'd love you to grind for me. And I had to apologise. But I don't care.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
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 All right. Has anyone seen this? The footage of the warm up before the Newcastle game?
No. Once again, I haven't watched the game.
Can you play that?
No.
Why can't we play? Question: why can't we play these things just out of? I understand the copyright part of it, but if we've got it from Twitter, is it still copyrighted? Would they still?
I don't know. Actually, I suppose you have to ask permission. We won't,
because I see some of these people. Yeah, because some of these people, I see them playing videos, and I saw the clip. I know the clip you're talking about. I'm not being funny. I think people have. All right, what my personal opinion of it is, I think people have gone overboard. I so what? You're playing a game of football. You're supposed to be having fun. You know what I mean? I'm the part with the two players being separated, the two younger players, fine, granted. But as in them kicking the ball around and having a laugh, I didn't see that as a problem half time.
I don't either. I mean, to be honest, like back in the Louis van Gaal days, he used to make the entire squad warm up. And I always really liked that. Even the guys that are on the bench, they all went through the warm up together. And I like that for sort of team morale and things like that. But there's two academy boys passing the ball to each other. The subs will have been planned. Like it's Amarin, it's Portuguese, it's tactical periodization. Everything's planned out in advance. They'll know that unless there's an injury, they're not coming on. And it's kind of like it's players have like routines and things. Like very, very famously, Dani Alves and Messi used to have their own warm up where they would knock 45-year-old passes to each other. Like one would volley it, they'd control it and knock it back. And that was their like way of warming up. And I kind of think before a game, you let the players go through their routines, their rituals, and stuff like that. And I don't think that it's about alienating like the two young academy lads. And I mean, maybe maybe they didn't want to be part of it. Who knows? I just think it's needless fuel to the fire, and we should be slaughtering them for what happens during the game, not for what happens beforehand. Have we got any more comments? Bath time, Mr. Bean. That's you, Mr. B. Can't be responsible for a fluke of Pogba being on his green stream. And anything else here? People clutching at straws to drag the club down. The so-called support bar couldn't care less about opinions anymore. Holiday camp settings, always the same players involved with a lack of focus.
Okay. Is that I'd completely misread kind of what the issue was. I mean, if it's
hello, Trevor.
If it's to say sort of a lack of unprofessionalism, then what should they have been doing? Doing it in system? Should they not have been laughing? I don't. Still, just kind of explain to me, Stephanie, what your feelings are on that, because
I think it's that they don't care. Was the impression that like they're laughing and joking, like it's not serious, and the academy boys no, like it was Collier and Goodwill, I think, like. They weren't having fun. They were treating it like a job and being serious and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like the dancing stuff. No one gives a shit if you're winning, but when you're not winning, you look at these overplayed prima donnas, and they're taking the piss. Really, I think that's the problem with it. All right, should get on to the big story. Marcus Rashford has had a couple of offers, and they're all pretty laughable. He's had an offer from the Saudi Pro League. It's being reported that 3 teams have made the offer to him, but the way that league works is the league basically signs a player and assigns them to a team. But Rashford has turned down 35 million a year, which is, I mean, that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money.
That's NBA money. If you look at, for example, that they are earning around, superstar players are earning around that kind of money every, each season. So, for example, Supermax, the contract that they get is, I think, around $40 million per year. So this is an insane amount of money.
Sorry, who is Supermax?
Supermax is like a type of contract that the NBA players are getting.
Oh, I thought it was a player.
No.
Oh,
and they are no. And they are.
I thought it was a jail.
For example, LeBron James is on a super max, and he probably has tons of tons of sponsors and everything. But yeah, I think he even earns even more. But yeah, it's the stars of the league are earning that much money in the basketball NBA league. So seeing Rashford rejecting this, it's a big deal. Honestly, it's a huge deal.
Well, I mean, one of the things about Saudi is that it's tax-free if you complete your contract. So Jordan Henderson was earning a fat wedge out there, but he had to pay back all the tax when he left before his contract. So if Rashford was to sign, let's say, a 3-year deal at 100 million, he has to stay for 3 years in Saudi to get that 100 million.
Yeah.
And I would suspect that this is one of the reasons why he wouldn't be up for taking it, because if he was on 35 million tax free and he was like able to just leave like in the summer, like go and do 6 months or something and then sign for Barcelona, he would end up like having to pay a lot of money to be released from that contract. And I would suspect that's probably why he won't be doing it. But Danny B says there's no nightlife or partying in Saudi, so Rashford wouldn't be up for it.
Yeah, but then they do it in Bahrain and they fly over, don't they?
Yeah.
That's what they do. A lot of them live in Bahrain. Miss Mendes, yes.
So nice to see a sister on the channel. I'm here every night, Sarah, don't worry.
I knew it. You're going to make that show. You're so cliche.
Now the other, right, so Rashford, interest from Saudi Arabia. Do you know who else has been in contact with Rashford?
No.
The Seattle Sounders from the MLS.
Really? Do they have the money?
No, but well, maybe they do. Maybe they do have the money, but
Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, MLS team. Yeah.
Not even like, what's the pink one? That's the one that Messi plays for.
Inter Miami. Yeah.
Not even Inter Miami.
This one.
Oh my!
Not even
God.
into Miami. No, but this is how far I think that Rashford. Like, I really think that Rashford thinks he's going to a mega club like the Real or Barca or Bayern Munich, and at the moment it's Saudi Arabia and the Seattle Sounders that are the ones that have
That's probably why I said. That's probably why he said he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, look, POTUS is up for him coming to the Vancouver Whitecaps. I just like I do wonder about Rashford because according to Ben Jacobs, who did a big interview today, the starting the sort of like if it were an auction, the reserve price is 40 million for Rashford. So any club that wants him in January needs to come in with 40 million pounds to get a conversation going. And PSG they're thinking about it, but the wages and the transfer fee have got to be right. So I think we might be looking at 20 to 25 million for Marcus.
Oh, Dora. Me and Dora's brain clicked in at the same time, boy. Last time. Don't talk shit, bro. 25 million pounds.
Yeah.
No, fuck off. There's no chance he's sending for 25 million pounds. Don't disrespect the brother. I'm sorry. No chance. No chance.
3 years left on his contract. Come on.
Who's right with the wages? We're gonna have to subsidize those wages one way or another. So we're either gonna have to like contribute to them, pay him off, like, or lower the transfer fee. Okay, those are the only ways. No one is paying. How much is he? How much is he on? Is it? It's about
say 300 less.
300 a week. Right. Take Saudi out of the equation. Take the mega bucks in Seattle off the table. Who is going to pay 300k for Marcus Rashford when a club is a desperate seller? Who's going to give him that wage?
Seattle Sounders.
Okay. Now, so
I
next,
mean, yeah.
right? 40 million, 300k a week is what the club wants and what Marcus Rashford wants. They're not going to get that. To move Rashford, we have to take that hit on the wages by lowering the transfer fee.
He's not going for 25 million bath time. I hear what you're saying, but they're not letting him go for 25 million. They can't do piss all with it unless they're going to give him 25 million cash, like straight. There's nothing they can do with that 25 million.
Well, there's a lot you can do with 25 million because it's pure profit.
Yeah, so they're going to give him. So they'll give him 25 million when straight away they're going to give him 10 as soon as.
Well, it doesn't matter because we're owed that money, so we include it in the accounts basically as a debt that we are owed.
I'm sorry. Okay,
but look,
is he a worse player than Scott McTominay?
No, but Scott McTominay, what he earned 80k a week, right?
No, it's more about the market. Is the market willing to pay? Is the market willing to move for a McTominay or move for a Rashford?
I know Sancho went for 25 mil. He's not going for 25 million. They're not going to do it.
I think that is the price that Rashford. I think that what will happen. This is my prediction. This is my speculation. Is it's going to go to the last day of the January transfer window, and he's going to go on loan somewhere with a £25 million option to buy and maybe a £5 million loan fee with 50% of his wages covered.
Bullshit.
Brilliant.
Great discourse.
I'm sorry. I think it's absolute shit. I don't see it's happening. There's no way the club are going to sell Rashford for £25 million. I'm sorry.
Well, apologise to my man Tyrone. He's read a book recently. He thinks that I'm right. Shout out to Eddie Holguin. Perfectly pronounced. I'm sure you'll agree. Dreaming about possible players when we don't even have an average coach.
Sorry, sir. I will call you sir because it's the first time I've seen you, Eddie. You think we've got an average coach? Could I have an explanation, please? If you're still there.
All right, let's. Sorry, we've got 19 likes. So if you are still here, leave a like before you give reasons and then Mr. B will shout at you for them. Just get that like in early. Why do you find it so hard to believe, Mr. B? It's pure profit.
It's not enough profit.
What would you accept?
40.
Right, would you accept 39?
No. Out of principle.
I want 40.
This is an 40. Arsene Wenger era where he is offering
£1 for Suarez. Yeah.
We want concrete, prices, concrete offers. So yeah, we're not Arsene Wenger.
All right, give me in chat. Give me the minimum price that you would accept, or what you think he's going to go for, like Rashford. And whilst we wait, we've got the top earners. So Casemiro 18.2, Bruno's 15.6.
You know what? You see, when it's done like that, it looks shocking.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it's awful.
Like I think I thought that Anthony was on.
I heard that he's on 70 grand. I heard that he's on 70 grand.
Yeah,
he's not on 70 grand. He's on a lot of money.
Didn't Sky what they did they analyzed or whatever they talked about about a bunch of things, and they listed Anthony at 70k a week, right, yeah. Mr. B? Yeah,
I saw it. That's what I saw. Yeah. And everybody else's seemed right, So, I mean, look, we'll see. Somebody's going to tell us, but I heard it's not 200.
All right, first of all, 120k. I think that sounds a bit more. That sounds
So
a bit
Sky
more
is,
difficult.
talking out of their ass.
That would put him on about 12 million a year, wouldn't it?
Oh my god.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be like 8 million.
8,
Right, Agile Beast, 45 million.
See?
Tyrone, 25 million. Do you want Bart's?
Go on.
He's given us the range of 25 to 40.
Yeah, I think that's a 40 to 65 would be
Max 40.
40, yeah, I want 40.
32 million from Simon. So who's winning? Agile Beast is winning the auction. Apparently 200k for Anthony. Can't be 70k. Anthony is on 200 grand a year.
So Sky are
10.4.
lying on national television.
Maybe they want him sold as well.
Yeah, but is this we've said better? Are you on Capita or whatever that website is? It's really difficult to like work out players' wages, but I would think that Anthony would be nearer 200 than 100. He's a 70 million pound signing.
Yeah, that's why I thought also that he earned a lot, and then I saw that on an official sports channel, which should fact check everything, and it said 70k a week. God. So they didn't do their job properly, I guess.
All right, Steph, bit of irony here. 25 million plus the lunch vouchers that Marcus tried to get for all the kids. 30 million with the add-ons rising to 40. Get him gone. That's a good one, actually. We should definitely like rinse that contract with add-ons. Like Ballon d'Or, World Cups.
Martial clauses, why not?
Yeah. Is Anthony really worth that much? I find it hard to believe. Don't forget, Simon, that
they thought he was.
Well, Ollie identified him as a 25 million pound player at most, and I think even that's a little bit generous sometimes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you are on Capology in your capital letters. All right, have we got any other stories? We've got a couple of stories, none of them particularly interesting. We've got Amas, as we mentioned earlier, getting linked with a loan to Leicester. Casemiro is being reported in Portugal, and don't forget he used to play in Portugal. He might still have ties there. Is now up for going to Saudi Arabia.
Please. That is the one.
Another physical player leaving the club. We are going to have gnomes in the midfield. Garden gnomes.
Yeah, but you could run round him. He's a big heavy. He's like Stonehenge. It's all big. They ain't moving nowhere. You know what I mean? No, I'm not. I'd take whatever they can get for Casemiro. 1 million. 5 million, take the loss, bite the loss, get it done, and get him gone, man.
Yeah, we will get a lot more for him, I guess.
I kind of agree. I'd like to see Collier take his place as like the sort of first reserve.
But they're talking about Leicester. They're talking about obviously Rude's seen what we've got in it. He's seen the youngsters and what they've, and he's looking at Collier at Leicester, isn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean Amas as well.
Can he get both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they've got, so we can loan out 2 players to the same club.
I think so. I don't see why we
I mean, the thing is, if they're playing, that's great. But Amas, I have no problem Amas being put in the shop window. But for Collier, I want it to be so that they can see that Collier is good enough to play in the Prem, and not that that's something that we're going to get money from. I don't know buyback or nothing, man. They talk about this guy's running stats, and all of this. I understand it's not all about running, but he's got takers as well, man. These aren't players who we should be getting rid of. Loan him out, fine, but don't loan him out with the view to a sale.
Sometimes, Mr. B, like I think we did this with James Garner, because we don't like the players that are on the pitch. We boost the academy players like dramatically, and the thing is that Collier, has he played once this season, and it was at left back against Barnsley, and he wasn't very good. Like maybe maybe he's not ready for us, and that the loan is like a good idea. But unfortunately, being a pragmatist as you are,
Yes, money. I know.
it's money on the table.
Yeah, I know.
If they're not playing him,
I know.
money.
I know it's money on the table. I just want somebody to give us money now that we can spend. I'm not interested in this loan until the summer, and everything's always summer. Bloody hell! It's like, what's his name? What's that film where that little guy sings "Tomorrow Never Comes"? Bugsy Bloody Malone. You know what I mean? Tomorrow Never Comes, or whatever he was singing in that one. I don't know the full chorus. So
I don't watch musicals, Mr. B. I'm sorry.
I tell you, yeah, well, that was when I was younger. I'm not going to watch it now, bath time. Some things you were forced to do when you were a lot younger, you know. It's not something I'll be looking to do now. But yeah, it's not the best. I wouldn't, yeah.
This is another story. Maguire is likely to, they're trying to renegotiate his contract and keep him at the club. But not on the wages.
Jesus Christ. How much goals have we conceded since Maguire's come into the team? The last 4 games?
I don't know.
And they wanna pay him money to stay again. This club's
I think he's been all. I think I wouldn't have any issues.
Yeah, you know what? You might not have any issues. It's stats. I'm going to look at my eye test and the results after the game. But we've conceded so much goals when he plays.
I think he's done okay in the games he's played recently. I think that De Ligt and Martinez and Onana.
I'm not having Maguire. I'm not having any De Ligt slander, mate. I'm sorry. I'll take Onana and I'll take Martinez, but I'm not.
We've talked a lot about individual errors that have happened for goals recently. I don't think Maguire's made one of those individual errors. I think he's a player that you might trust him, but I like him as a defender, and if we can get him down from, let's say he's on 200 grand a week, if we can drop him to 130, 140, something like that, I'd be very happy to keep him.
That's still a whole heap of money, man.
Yeah,
I know it's 50 grand less
than money for him.
Oh my!
It's because his contract is he's got
a year
left.
So wouldn't we be better just letting him fuck off?
Well, I mean, we are going to lose. Definitely, we are going to lose Lindelof and Johnny Evans.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Someone needs to stay. Unfortunately, it's Maguire.
Oh wow,
I know people don't like Maguire and stuff. I think Maguire's a good defender. I think he's the least of our problems at the back now. We can't, is there any? The thing is there appetite for Maguire? Can we get 20, 30, 40 million for him? I don't think we can. I don't think that we can. And he's one of the few players that has a bit of physicality to him. Like, it might just be heading stuff.
I think we need to get another player instead of freaking Martinez at the back line, because it's getting ridiculous with the way that guy is consistently making errors that are costing us games.
He's vice captain, though, isn't he?
Sorry?
He's vice captain.
I don't care if he is a vice president of the whole world. He should be benched. He should be benched. I don't care. I would even take Chipotle Luke Shaw at this moment in time on that spot. Not this guy. Like, he's been absolutely horrendous. Our worst, I would argue, I'm trying to remember who is. He is our worst player in the squad. Like, I'm
worse than Anthony, Casemiro, Højlund.
They're not playing as much as he is. He's playing every single game. He's shocking. He isn't doing what he is supposed to do, apparently. And he's passing, through the lines, and he's not even passing. Like, oh my God! Like, I don't want this to become Lisandro Martinez thing, but I think if you are going to lose Johnny Evans and Lindelof, I'm okay with Maguire staying, because at the end of the day, I don't think he's that much at fault for the goals that we conceded in the last few games, especially. Martinez and Onana are abysmal. They're absolutely abysmal. And it pains me to say for Onana, because I felt like he started this season pretty well. And now he and in the last month or so, it's like he, is on drugs. It's like he is, he has vertigo and he cannot concentrate on the game. So I don't know what is happening, honestly. But yeah, I think out of all these players, I think we need to look at someone who is going to play on that left center back position, because I cannot stand Martinez playing one more game and screwing up another goal for us. I think we need to find solutions there. He needs to be benched, at least.
Would you take Branthwaite as his replacement?
Yes, I would. At least he's physical. At least he's physical.
How much is he going to cost? Another 65 mil that we don't have.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But Tyrone is saying Maguire is an awful centre-back. And obviously no one can ever agree with anything that anyone says.
That's why I love it.
Yeah. Everybody has opposing opinion. Different opinions.
Last time, you have posters of Maguire on their bedroom walls, allegedly.
BT has one next to McTominay.
Yeah. Oh, McTominay. Imagine now if we had him. Mr. B, did you watch the Ipswich match? Delap got absolutely smashed up by Delap. I don't think he's a defender that was so hyped up. I don't think he's a defender that everyone hyped him up to be.
Okay.
We should call Maguire's mother and tell him that someone doesn't like him. Mother Maguire incoming. I bet she can defend corners better than Martinez can. And then here, like Danny wants to talk about the Leicester midfield. He says Winks, Sagare, and Didi and Skip. He's not getting ahead of them. I don't know. And Didi's really poor on the ball. Winks is obviously excellent on the ball, but lacks a bit of physicality.
Remember when everyone wanted Didi at United?
Yeah. Just people. Tyrone's just disappointing Maguire still at the club. If Maguire is such a good defender, why don't teams want to spend 40 million on him? Age and the length of the contract, Tyrone. Like, if Maguire was 26 and on a 5-year deal, 40 million would be a bargain for a player like that. We'd said better just says we need tall defenders. I mean, Yoro's a tall defender, but he's not particularly good in the air. We need better athletes. He also says he hates 3 at the back. And bring back Willie Kambwala. Look, Simon Warner says Maguire's mother's fast. Can she defend in a high line? Maybe if we just start everyone's mother out, like we'd just have a better go. But I think unless Dora and Mr. B, the story or something you want to discuss, I think we're probably going to end it here for the evening.
What is about Onana replacements? Is that legit?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I tried to mute it before I started laughing. We deserve it. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, another replacement was the last one. But it looks like they're going to try and get Bayinda out and get a goalie in who could push him.
What, into a canal?
Well, listen.
Sorry. That's a bit unfair.
Oh my God! Yeah, into a bloody canal. So it looks like they Bayinda's done. They have no faith.
He's
in
awful.
Him. Yeah, he's shocking. I mean, we imagine we said all of these games. Oh, play Bayinda instead of.
I never said it.
I did. I'm not going to lie. I did.
I knew he was poor.
We've got 2 crap goalies. So yeah, they're looking to get Bayinda in and get a goalie in who can push. What's his name? What's his face? Onana. I mean, it's not going to take much to be able to push Onana, to be fair, because he's shocking. But
it's a really weird bit of logic, isn't it? That Bayinda is so shit that like Onana just doesn't need to do anything. Is essentially what they're kind of saying, or that Onana needs like to feel that his place is under threat in order to get some. That's not good, is it?
No,
No, maybe it's just to get him out. Like, you know, they'll find this goalie with the bits that Amrin wants in his goalkeeper, and then Onana will be gone for what, 25 mil again.
Oh my God.
I also think that's poor psychological profiling of Onana. I think that he's jittery and he's a bit nervous, and the more pressure that's on him, the more you'll see clangers. So maybe you're right. Maybe getting in a competent goalkeeper and then playing him in the cups, which is our best chance at silverware for the foreseeable future, is kind of the best way to get Onana like out of the team. I'm not sure. I mean, I do wonder what Ruben Amorim thinks when he looks around our squad. Like,
I think he's in total disbelief. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think he's in total disbelief, man.
I believe that when he saw fitness levels and the mentality state of these players, I think he just, oh my God, what?
Why are our players always unfit? Sorry, I've got to ask. Every coach that comes in, our players aren't fit. What the fuck did they do at Carrington? Yam just sit down and yam custard with bloody Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Mr. B, because when even things like when they go on international training and stuff like that, and like, so I don't know, let's say Callum Hudson-Odoi has got in the England squad, or Rodgers, and also remember that like everyone coming up from the England under-21s, under-17s, they've all won stuff at their level, and when they turn up at training, everyone's faster, stronger, fitter, can run longer. It just stuns me that they don't sort of think, do you know what, this summer I'm going to come back with a build of a light heavyweight or something. I'm really going to
Kobe looks like he's put on weight, and I don't think that's benefited him.
Yeah, but at least the intent is there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, whereas, like, all right, Rooney, we used to see pictures of Rooney. Rooney just went to pieces in the off-season, but I know it's silly, but he was so good that he kind of allowed to. I mean, I remember that there were pictures where people were quite rightly fat-shaming Luke Shaw because he was about half stone overweight, like on a boat somewhere. And now we've got like Casemiro looking like he runs a kebab shop and things. Like, it's unbelievable. It's got to be like, it's got to be about mentality as a squad. Like, they excuse each other for so much stuff. Sorry, I don't understand it myself. Like, but you're right. It goes all the way back to Ollie. He said he wanted us to be the fittest team in the league, and he wanted us to be the best transition team in the world. And then Ten Hag said the same thing. Like that, like he wanted us to be one of the fitter teams in the league. And we just don't, I don't know, we just don't seem to do anything.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Buff. It's ridiculous. But what can we do? We can only sit here and moan, innit?
Is my mic on the blink?
No,
I don't know what that means.
Fine.
Sounds like I'm talking inside and upside down bath.
No, you've been absolutely fine.
Bath time.
Andrew's been drinking again.
Sorry.
It's such a delayed reaction. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Well, don't worry. Sarah apparently was a youth player at Real Madrid, and didn't need anyone to motivate her to stay in shape. These United players are embarrassing.
Okay, fair enough, Sarah.
What is this?
And what position did you play, Sarah?
Yeah. All right. Enough of this. Like, I'm not dealing with people role playing that they were like playing. What's the Real Madrid youth team called? Go on. Anyway, I think we're going to end it here. Tomorrow night is going to be a very cold, very bitter night when we do the preview, Mr. B.
Oh my God! Yeah, that could be a somber. It could be a somber affair, innit?
I'm going to be drinking, so I'm going to have a whale of a time.
Oh, that's listen. Right, so we've got a drunken preview tomorrow. Then is that what we're doing?
Right, so do you want to get 8?
Yeah, we go at 8. I have no problem going at 8 o'clock tomorrow. That's absolutely fine.
More time for drinky winkies.
Yeah, that's fine. That's no problem at all.
All right. I think we're going to end it. I think it's like a notch time, but shout out to Dora. She's back again. First time we've seen her this year.
Yep.
Did you just swear, Dora?
Yeah.
I said, yep.
What's this? Didn't you just do that?
Oh my God, you are stupid. Yes, I wanted to do a peace sign. Oh my God, you English, British people, whoever. Yes, thank you for having me once again.
What was that time you got really annoyed about English people and jam, Dora? Do you remember that?
Oh my God, I can't remember. Like, I said a lot of things here, and I overcame them, and I don't know, maybe I lost some of my sanity. And with you guys, but yeah.
All right, lack a notch from me.
Lack a notch from me.
Lack a notch from me.